Hey everybody, it's Carolyn from the Scrapbook School. Welcome to tonight's show about gratitude journaling. Just a caveat, I had two cats in here with me behind closed doors. One of them decided they wanted to leave right before I hit live, so that's why I'm a little late. And then the other one might want to join his friend, so I might have to step away from the camera for a bit to let that guy out. But we'll see. Hopefully he goes back to napping. So let's go ahead and get started. Today or tonight, we're going to do a scrapbooking spread that focuses on gratitude. Now, you could do this in a scrapbook page, or you can do this on a journaling notebook of some sort. It doesn't matter. I set it up so that you could do either way. And I also provided some materials that you could use that if you wanted to work along with me or watch me work and then go back and try this on your own. It's a gratitude recipe card in the style of Mad Libs. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with Mad Libs, but there used to be this little game that kids would play, and you would fill in the blank based on the prompt that they gave you. And so I thought it would be kind of cool to do a Mad Lib style journaling prompt, and then I gave you some stickers. Now, the journaling card is in the style of a recipe. So let me go ahead and show you what it looks like. Let me switch cameras. So this is the journaling card, and it's a recipe for a dash of joy, a spoonful of thanks. And what is that under the ingredients, you have prompts that you can fill in the blank. So for example, the first one is 1 cup, and then the prompt is something that brings you comfort. 2 spoonfuls of, and then you're supposed to fill in a person, place, or memory you're thankful for, and so forth. And so you will get this card in the download, and it comes in 2 sizes, a 6x4 and a 3x5, depending on what size of your book. You also get this instruction sheet that tells you how you can use the prompts, and then you also get a sticker sheet, which I will show you in a second. These are the stickers that you get. Let me take this off so you can see better. So these are the stickers that you would get with the download, and you can either download this in the PDF file, which is here. I printed it in black and white, but it is color. So you would get your 2 recipe cards and your stickers. You can print these out and cut them out by hand, or you can use the included JPEG files or PNG files and upload them to Cricut Design Space or Silhouette or whatever you use, and cut them out as stickers or as die cut elements for your page. So I'm going to show you how to do that first. Then I'm actually going to show you how to make the spread. And there are no rules about the spread. You can do it however you like because it is your page. And we'll actually be cutting some of the elements with my Cricut Joy, which is right here, Cricut Joy Extra. And then we'll just kind of check in and see how you guys are doing with your scrapbooking and journaling efforts. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to switch to Cricut Design Space so you can see how that looks. Give me a second and I will share my screen. Oh, we're having some technical difficulties. Hang on a second. Let me try that again, because I see that you cannot see me. Sorry about that. Let me get Design Space back up and see if that works. No. I am not sure what is going on. My program is having issues. I apologize for that. There we go. Not sure what happened. All right, so this is what you would, this is our Cricut Design Space view. So if you were to upload this file into the recipe cards in Design Space, you'd come over here to upload, you'd locate the item on your computer, and you'd go over here to upload image, browse. I don't know if I still have this on my desktop. No, I do not. I uploaded it to my hard drive. But anyway, you would find it on your computer. You would upload it here, and then you would make sure that it is uploaded as a flat image so that you can get it to print then cut. So that would be these two files over here. And then I also did the same thing with the sticker images here. I'll zoom in so you can get a closer look at them. They're kind of in the doodle style format. And when you import them, you need to, you're going to get an error message because Cricut Design Space inputs everything as really, really big. So in the instructions, I tell you to make sure that when you upload these files, that you have them at 6.75 inches by 9.25 inches, at least at a minimum. That will give you the 100% size of these images. I actually made them a little bit bigger so that you can resize them smaller as you need to. Before you do any print then cut, please make sure that you calibrate your machine for print then cut. And you would do that by going over here on the desktop version of Design Space. I believe this is the same on the mobile version. You need to go to your name and then come look for settings. And then under settings, you're going to go to, I think is it machines? Yes. Come over to machines. Look for machine calibration. You select your device. In this case, I'm doing a Joy Extra, and you would click start. It will then print a calibration sheet for you on your printer for print then cut, and then you would follow the on-screen prompts to do print then cut. I actually have a demo video of how you would do that. So if you want to check that out, you can do that and get a little primer on how to do print then cut. So since I have already uploaded all of these images and I've pre-cut them, the only thing I need to do at this point is actually do the cutting. So I am going to, let me show you what they look like when they're cut so that you can see the different options that are available. So this is the recipe card. This is the 6x4 recipe card. I'll show you the 3x4 card in a second. This is the 100% size. So if you uploaded the images as is, this is the 6.75 inches across 100% view. This is on white cardstock sticker paper. So if you like cardstock stickers, you can use it on that. I also played around with clear stickers, so you can use clear stickers. This particular paper or sticker sheet is kind of hard to lift up. I don't know if I did the kiss cut or, yeah, I think I I don't think I selected the correct option, which is why I'm having problems pulling this up. But anyway, you can print it on clear sticker paper. And then the final thing is I did vellum. And to print on vellum, you use the draft setting on your printer, your inkjet printer, because the ink does not absorb into vellum. It kind of sits on top. So you want the lightest ink setting possible for you to do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can cut these now. I did accidentally resize this while I was showing you this, so I'm going to probably have to print this again and get it cut out correctly. I wanted to use, I don't know if I can use the vellum though, because the vellum is not going to necessarily show up on my paper. But I do want it to be smaller. So let's go. What I'm going to do is I am going to resize these to about 1 inch in height. So let me move this out of the way. And I'm using the grid in Cricut Design Space, so it looks like this is at 1 inches. I can always do this too, because I think that's where I last saved it. Yeah. So it should be about, I did undo just in case you were wondering what I did. So yeah, that's about 1 inch. And then I'm going to turn off these layers. And then I'm going to make sure that my setting here is for Joy Extra. Now, just FYI, to do print then cut, you can only do those on Joy Extra, Explore machines, and Maker machines. You can also do it on the Venture machine, but most of us don't have that because that's the professional machine. Most of us have the smaller machines. So if you want to do print then cut, you need the Joy Extra. And I'm gonna zoom out so you can see it here. And it's already turned on. And these are my stickers. Let me go back to Design Space really quick so you can see. I need to do make sure that everything is lined up, continue. It's going to look for my machine, and while it's doing that, I'm going to put my stickers on the mat. My internet is slow in my house sometimes, and we're in a storm right now, so I do not know what is going to go on. Okay, so since I've already printed, I'm going to click I've already printed, and I'm actually, for this one, I'm using cardstock. I'm not even using stickers. I'm just going to use my regular adhesive to adhere these stickers to the page. So I've got my cardstock selected, and then I'm going to load up here. Let me switch over to the camera so you could see it loading. Make sure my mat is underneath these two grid lines here, or not grid lines, but grids. Okay, and so it's ready to go, and I'm getting a prompt here from Design Space that says click go, and so that's down here, and boom. So let's go back, and then you can see it cutting. And like I said, this is the Joy Extra, so this is the one that's a step above the original Cricut Joy, which is like has a turquoise color. So what it's doing now is it's using these sensor marks here, these black corners, to make sure that everything is lined up. And I have pre-calibrated the machine. I did it yesterday. Actually, the first time that I printed out these or cut these stickers, it was not calibrated. There was recently an update. Usually when I have an update is when my calibration gets off. So I always have to remember that when Design Space updates to go ahead and calibrate. So it's still doing its, making sure everything is lined up. So hopefully this works. Okay, now it is cutting according to the on-screen, and right, so I'm looking at this and I can tell already that we are not calibrated. So I either did not resize this correctly or something else is going on. I think it's because I did not resize this correctly. So I'm going to hit pause and I'm going to, this is actually good for you guys to see because this will happen to you. And I'm going to hit cancel because I can already tell it's not lined up. And I'll show you what that looks like when it's not lined up. So I don't know if you can see that in the camera. You can see the white outline. Yeah. So I think what happened was when I did this originally, I did not, I kind of messed up the sizing because I printed this out earlier, and then when I was showing you how to import, I messed up the sizing, and so that's why everything went wacky. So what I am going to do is, in the interest of time, I am not going to, well, I don't know. Why not? Just so you guys can see it. Hang on, let me do cancel. I'll have to go across the room and turn on my printer. So I'm going to take my mic off. And hopefully you can hear me. I'm going to turn on my printer. And I'm going to use the white cardstock again to do this. That's me pulling out my cardstock. All right. I am back. So let me go back to my screen. I don't know how many of you follow astrology, but we are in a Mercury retrograde, or retrograde or gade. I think it's grade. And so everything that's like technical, communications, everything gets jacked up. So this is just this is just par for the course. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do make. Thank you for your patience. And I'm going to go ahead and do the print then cut, and I'm going to do send to printer, and it's just telling me here to, you know, about the sensor marks, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to use this printer here, and I always add a bleed, and I like to use the system dialog box because I want to be able to control. And you're probably not going to see it on the screen because it will not share. But what I'm basically doing now is picking the media type and normal quality, blah, blah, blah. And it's going to print. And then it's going to ask me to verify the print quality. And it should look like the preview that we see on the screen. So I don't know if you can hear my printer printing in the background. So while we're waiting, how are you guys doing with, did you download the recipe card? Have you tried to play with the recipe card and the stickers? Have you already gone through this process of print and cut? Let me know in the comments below. All right, I'm going to get the printout. Okay, so I'm back. All right. Sorry about that. I'm holding my mic now in case I have to get up again. So this is the printout. It is smaller than what I had, so I probably messed it up when I printed it the first time. And I need these to be smaller because I'm going to be using a small journal to actually do my page. I'm not doing it as a regular scrapbook page, so I needed my stickers to be smaller. Okay, let's go back to Design Space. We are now in the cutting stage, so we're going to click on medium cardstock again, and I'm going to load. Let me put my mic down for a second. I'm going to load the mat again. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit go in Design Space, and we're going to go through that process of it, going through the censor marks and making sure everything is lined up. I'm not showing you that because it's kind of, oh, I do have a cat that wants to get out, so while that's happening, enjoy watching Cricut do its thing. All right, I am back. And hopefully the cats don't come back because that's what they do. If you have any questions about what I'm doing, go ahead and leave them in the chat. Okay, so I can tell already that the calibration is correct and that the stickers or the cardstock pieces are going to come out okay. And I'm probably not going to use all of these for my project, but I just went ahead and just cut everything out just so I have it. Now, the one thing I generally use my Cricut Maker. I like the Maker because it's faster. I like the Joy Extra. It's great for small projects like this. But, you know, it's slower and I'm used to the speed of the Maker. But I think for doing, you know, mini albums and journaling stuff, small scrapbook pages, the Maker is fine, and it's at a good price point because the other thing is you can use the pins with it too. So it is a good machine. I'm just used to faster cutting. All right, so it is done. So we're going to put the maker aside here and I'm going to carefully lift up my sheet, and there we have our little doodads. We'll zoom in so you can see that. Those are my little, these are now ephemera pieces, they're not stickers. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside for now. And the next thing we're going to do is, I'm just gathering my things, is I'm going to show you some of the materials that I'm going to be using for this. So this is my book that I'm going to use. This is a handmade journal that I made with Cricut and the cinch. I did the cinch binding, and this is a creative journaling scrapbooking book that I'm going to be using to do my different stuff. So this was the last page that I did. I did a video on this about blank page syndrome, and that's this. And then I'm gonna flip a couple of pages to, this is going to be the spread that I'm going to use. So now you can see why I wanted to use smaller stickers. The other stickers would have worked, but I think they just would have overpowered everything. Now here is my journaling card. I decided to go with the 3 by 5 inch size, or 5 by 3 inch size, because the page that I'm working on is pretty small, and this one it just wouldn't have given me enough space for other elements like photos, because I am going to be using photos on this page. Now, some other materials that I'm going to use for this project are, I am going to cover some of the page with this Vicky Boutin, I think that's how you say her name, paper pad, some pieces from that, just 2 pieces from that, just to cover up some of the page. I'm going to be using some stamps from Close to My Heart. These are background stamps, and I will use some of these to decorate little spots on the page and also add little notes. You'll see how that works out. I've got ink. So I think this is the ink, or the ink pad that goes with this paper. So I'll get a little tone on tone action. And then this I'll use for other stuff. I will also possibly use some distress inks too. We'll see how that goes. And probably a bit of washi tape. I'm not saying this is the exact one I'm going to use, but I will probably use washi tape. And that's pretty much it. Now I've got some photographs here, and what I did was these photographs came from my phone. So let me give you some background about what this is about. So for my recipe Mad Libs card, I had a cup of music, 2 spoons of Nadia, who's a friend of mine, 4 pieces, or I'm sorry, I can't read, a pinch of laughter, a handful of dance moves, a sprinkle of Wolf Trap summer concerts, and for directions I have, begin by appreciating a friend who loves live music, stir in plenty of gratitude for talented artists, let the warmth of good vibes and summer simmer in your heart, and add joy from the Italian store and sandwiches in Mija Sangria, and mix gently. Serve this recipe with love and a smile. Okay, so that is what this page is about. It's about me and my friend, who I call my concert buddy, and how we used to go to concerts all the time. She lives in Spain now after having done her husband was in the military, so they did a tour. His final tour was in Germany, and then they decided to move to Spain. So I don't have a concert buddy anymore, but hopefully I will be able to go to Spain or Europe and attend a concert with her there. Now, I could have stopped right here with the journaling, but I did want to add a little bit more context. So I wrote a little piece out, and this is going to be on a flip up on my page, and that's where the washi tape comes in. And here's the Mija Sangria. I highly recommend it. It's very, very good. And then here are a couple of concerts that we went to. So we went to a 90s show and it had TLC and CNC Music Factory and some other folks. We saw Sting one year, Lenny Kravitz another time. And then our last concert was with Maxwell, who had a gig with the National Symphony Orchestra at the Kennedy Center. And I was like, this is going to be weird. It was so good to have his music too with the symphony, like with strings and like it's the orchestra, but it was just wild, but it was awesome. Okay, so those are the photographs that I'm using, and I did this in Photoshop, but if you have Canva or anything else, I actually put the some journaling on the photos themselves and printed them out. So I would, because I knew I wasn't going to have a ton of space on the page. So I did additional journaling on the photos and then printed them out. So that's pretty much how the page is generally going to go. And now I'm going to add my pattern paper for backgrounds and the journaling card. You'll see how I do the hidden journaling. And then we're going to add some stamping. So I'm going to pause to see if anybody has any questions about anything that I'm doing at this point. Okay, so let us do the first thing, which is going to be, I want to put my photo as a mat here on the rainbow paper. So some background about this approach. So one of the things that, like, I've done a couple of videos lately about creative journaling, and I've gotten some questions about, like, how do you start the page, and how is this different from scrapbooking, and I don't really understand how this works. So, valid questions. And just as an aside, I'm putting my, I'm going to do this. Okay. So, one of the things about this approach is that the reason why I did the Mad Libs journaling card was to help people who have trouble with writing, because the thing about journaling is people get like, oh my God, I have to do a paragraph. And no, you don't have to do a paragraph. So if I give you the prompts and all you have to do is reflect on your own life, then it should be easy to fill that out. It should be easy to write. And if you want to write more, you can. So how is this different from scrapbooking? It's not. It's really kind of the same thing. The one thing I would say with scrapbooking is this, however, and don't yell at me about what I'm about to say. Like, we can have a nice conversation, but don't jump on me for what I'm about to say. And what I'm about to say is the thing with scrapbooking, and as I've been doing, yeah, of course I would run out. Hang on. All right, I'm going to use the Hermafix. I'm going to use this. This is actually repositionable. The thing about scrapbooking is, in my opinion, like I said, don't attack me for what I'm about to say, is that with scrapbooking, there are rules, okay? And by rules, I mean design rules. You got the rule of thirds. You've got, put your pictures in this way. Use the product in this way, in this style. And, I'm guilty of teaching that way, because that's how you did it, The problem with that is that it does not encourage people to use their own creativity and use their own approach. It makes everybody's stuff look the same and cookie cutter. Don't at me, but think about it and it's true. So, what I found with quote unquote creative journaling is that you are able to do whatever the heck you want without any rules. What I just did was I stamped with one of these blobby stamps with the sugar plum ink, and I'm going to cut it out by hand using these microtip scissors. And it's going to be a journaling or a caption spot. Let's call it a caption spot. Anyway, that's what I think. And I just think there's more freedom this way. I have scrapbooked or created page layouts, whatever you want to call it, because I'm kind of moving away from labels, but with YouTube, you have to use labels so that people can find your videos. But I have done more pages than I have done when I was scrapbooking the traditional way. Seriously. Okay. I'm not sure how the blobby goes. Let's look. I think it goes like that. That? Yeah, okay. All right, so then I'm going to put a caption here. And it's going to say, Mija makes everything better. Because it does. And it comes in white wine. It's not a commercial for Mija, but it comes in white wine, and it comes in red wine sangria. I personally like the white wine, so that's going to go right there like that. All right, I'm going to put these stamps aside. So let me know what you think about what I'm saying. Don't attack me, but just let me know. Let me know what you think about what I'm saying here. About everything looking the same. Because I think it does. I really do. All right, so this is going to go here. The journaling. Luckily, this is repositionable adhesive, so if it doesn't work, then I can always, and see what I want to do is do this. Oops. I already made it. This is why I'm glad it's repositionable, because I put my photo and caption upside down. Okay. So yeah, it should go like that. So you get a little hidden journaling here. Let me just adjust this. Okay. The Hermafix is it used to be EK Success. I'm not sure who makes it now, but It's a repositionable adhesive. Highly recommend. Okay. So I'm going to lay that on top like that. And then I'm going to get some washi tape. This is from Scotch. And it comes in like a variety pack. And I like washi tape for these types of little flippies, flip-ups. And let me just, and then I can do that. Cool. So I just feel like there's more creative freedom with this style. And it's not for everybody, and I know that, but I don't know. I have more fun with it. All right, I'm going to do a little bit more stamping. And that's the other thing is like, I'm using, I feel like I say this all the time. Let me set this aside because I need to clean my stamps. Is that I feel like I'm using stuff that I haven't used in a long time. And I'm more experimental than I have been. So I just like it because there's just no rules and I can do whatever I want. And I don't feel constrained by I have to make a page in a certain style. You know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not following rules. I'm not following rules anymore. I was never really a rule follower, but for some reason with scrapbooking, I feel like I got into that rule thing. Thank God for Hermafix. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just adding a little background image, and I'm using the foam from the packaging because it helps you with give. And I'm just gonna stamp here just so that the page doesn't look so plain. Sorry, that's me cleaning my stamp. And I think I'm gonna add another blob. No, let's add one of these. I don't know what this is. It's not a, I don't know what it is. Splotch. Let's try the Distress Inks. What color shall we use? Let's pick up a color from here. I'm kind of into peacock feathers. So yeah, I just, you know, I'm just free flowing it. However it turns out is how it turns out. This actually, I might get some extra blob on here, but whatever. Which way do we want to go? Let's go this way. Cool. And then what I'm going to do here is down the side, I'm going to get some of my, maybe I'll do some blobs. Because I think I want to use, so now this is where the little recipe images come in. So these were hand drawn by me in a program called Procreate, and I've been trying to learn how to do digital illustration. And yeah. So it took me a couple of days to design all these things. So if you download the file, hopefully you like it. Because I spent some time on it. I'm just pulling off a few. I'm not sure where they're going to go yet. I haven't been. So, but I think I know I want to have some on this other page, so I'm going to set those aside. But this is, you know, it's kind of going along with the recipe theme, so hopefully you picked up on that. And yeah, so I think I'll just put some more blobs from the sticker. Let's use the pink. Or the sugar plum or whatever. Yeah, sugar plum. And I have not, so this is probably going to be very fair. No, nope. So I was thinking is maybe doing something like that. I actually could have gone with the bigger stickers now that I think about it, because these are really small. All right, so this is, you're seeing part of the creative process here where things get switched up. So let's look at, yeah, I like the whisk. No. How about the measuring spoons? That could work. Or just the regular spoon. Sure, why not? And I like the mixer too. I might do another little splotch under that. So I'm kind of glad I cut out two different sizes. Let's do one of these guys. Let's use this splotch. Let's use a different color. How about we use the blue? Let's do this green. Peeled paint. So a lot of times, like I did a little sketch just beforehand, before the little show tonight, to kind of guess like how would I do this page, and then I've pretty much deviated from it, which is fine. That's okay. It's just a starting point. Again, I'm just trying to free flow here. Yeah, I covered up most of it, but that's fine. You get the gist. So that's the left page. Again, I'm not trying to go for perfect. I just want to capture the story, and I think that's the most important part. Okay. So now on this page, got this paper, and I think I want to make it like go across the bottom. So I'm going to get my trimmer, which I've lost. Here it is. And cut off that much. And I'm just going to do this. And do this. Move this up. And we're just going to slap that on the bottom of the page. So tell me in the comments, what projects are you working on right now? Or what projects do you want to work on? Or if you wanted to do this as a project, what would you be grateful for? What would you do your recipe card about? Okay. Now I think I'm going to do a blobby over here, and I'm going to do pink. And I didn't really clean off the previous ink, so it might pick up here. Let's see. I accidentally wrote the wrong date here, so I just used some white gel pen and wrote over top of it. In my previous perfect scrapbooking world life, there is no way I would have let that fly. I would have freaked. So I'm going to put a little bit of a caption here. And in this picture, I don't know if you all remember the group CNC Music Factory. This was part of the 90s concert. Their CNC Music Factory was a duo. And in this case, only one C showed up. So the audience had to sing the rest of the song. What was that song? I'm Gonna Make You Sweat. I'm not gonna sing it because one, I can't sing, and two, I don't want a copyright strike from YouTube. So yeah, the rest of us had to sing it to help him. Yeah, it's pretty. He wasn't really that good, unfortunately. Oh well. All right, and this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do a little border on the side. TLC was the best one out of that little group. They were so good. And then I think they had, if I recall, they had a video of Left Eye Lopez. Like, you know, they would show her from the videos. And that was their way of kind of including her in the show, which was cute. And it was a nice gesture. So that is a border for that photo instead of using a mat. So that's another technique you can use with your stamps. And then, let's see, we've got Sting here in the middle. He's kind of washed out, but I wanted to include him because he's one of my favorites. And that concert was really good. And his son was the opening act, which was interesting. And then, let's see, I've got another blob that I need to do. So let me put this here. For Lenny Kravitz was great. I got a Lenny Kravitz story too. So when I was in college, my sophomore year, 1989, the end of my sophomore year, I had a friend that worked at MTV as a intern, and he was like, "Hey, I got some tickets to see this guy Romeo Blue." And we were like, "Who the heck is that?" And he's like, "You know, that guy is married to Lisa Bonet." And anyway, I've got tickets. And he's going to be playing in New York. I went to school in New Jersey. You you know, you guys should come to the concert. It's free. And so I wasn't able to go because I had a date. Dummy, I should have gone. But anyway, I had a date and I did not go. But when my friends came back from the concert, they were like, "Oh, it was great. And we saw the baby." And that baby was Zoe Kravitz. So she was an infant at the time of that little show. So anyway, I'm dating myself, but oh well. So that's, but Lenny Kravitz was good, and he actually, what do you call that when they throw themselves into the crowd? Like a mosh pit type thing or something. Anyway, he did that fool, but I forgot to use my little foam thing. Anyway, he flung himself into the crowd while he was singing "Let Love Rule," and he got passed around from person to person. I thought the security people were going to lose their minds, but I'm sure he does this all the time. And it was crazy. It was crazy. But the concert was really good. And he survived the pseudo, what is a mosh pit? I don't know. And then for the Maxwell concert, this guy here, obviously he is not Maxwell, but he was the conductor of that particular, it's not the full National Symphony Orchestra. I think what they would do was take different, what do you call it? God, I can't think tonight. Different players and make a smaller orchestra, and those were the people that backed Maxwell. So while we were waiting for our Uber, he came out and I'm like, "Hey, aren't you the conductor?" And he was like, "Yep." And he was awesome. He was grooving to all the music and everything. It was a very different experience, but it was good. So I want to put a note here that says he was the NSO conductor. And I'll just draw an arrow like that. Oh, actually, he should be over here, but that's okay. And then I'm going to come back over here to my littles, and I'm just going to add them and maybe fill up the page with them to continue the little motif of recipes. The gratitude recipe. Oh, I used that already. And I used that already. Okay. So for those, I'm going to use, actually, I want to do a blobby over here. Let me see, what blobby have I not used? Let's use these little dots. And I need a small, well, we'll use this. And let's see, what color do we want? I used that already. Maybe I'll do the green again. No, I'll do the turquoise because there's a little turquoise in the measuring spoon, so I'll use that. And let's not forget this time. That was my foam sheet. And just ta-da. And that's good enough. And then I'll use my glue pen. For the rest of these. And that's it, guys. That is the page. So let's just kind of zoom out a little bit so you can see the mess I've got here. All right. So what do? We used a small journal, homemade journal, filled out the recipe card. I wanted to add more journaling, so I used hidden journaling here to add some more context to this story. Oh, I forgot to do this. Then I used stamps, background stamps, to either accent my stickers or cardstock ephemera here, or to use it as background for additional journaling or captions, as you can see here. And I didn't glue these on either. Also used the background stamps for patterns on the plain cardstock so that the background looked a little bit more interesting and not as plain. Use some washi tape to create a hinge for the hidden journaling, like so. So we get a little interactivity on the page. I also added captions on my computer in Canva and then printed out my photos so that I put the captioning on the photo so I would have a little bit more room on the page for other things. And that's it. That is my gratitude journaling page. And I'm pretty happy with it. You know, it's not super fancy, but I don't want it to be super fancy. I want it to be exactly as it is. I had no stress making, absolutely no stress making this page. And I love it. While we're here, I'll just show you some other things that I have done. Some of you may have seen this. So this one this is a poem, kind of a poem, attributed to Mother Teresa called Do It Anyway. And it resonated with me and I wanted to make a page about it. So I did. And I used some Spectrum markers on these stamps to color in these stamps and then cut them out and added it to the page. I printed out the quote because I didn't want to handwrite it. And then this is, this is watercolor, not watercolor, gelatos. These are gelatos as the background color. This, I just had some scraps laying around and I felt like doing a page. I am a limited edition because sometimes you just need to pump yourself up when you feel low. And so I did this and to fill this little pocket. I'm also gonna, sometimes I leave notes to myself, like I hear something and I get inspired and I'm like, oh, I want to do a little art piece on that or a page about that. So I was on a trip recently and I heard somebody say tolerate. And I thought it would be cool to do a little definition thing. So I will do that. When I do that, maybe I'll do a YouTube short about it. This one is, it's cuss word. So I did a page about it. I challenged myself to illustrate a page about knowing your blankety blanks, your ish. And so you have dog-ish, very poor quality, and it's a dog. And this is the ish. And I'm weird like that. Some like inspired me. So I felt like drawing some pictures. And I'm going to color it in. But anyway, that's that page. This is a little insert here. This is a, what do you call it? Confetti from, I went to the Kennedy Center in February with my sister-in-law and niece, and we went to see Schmigadoon, which is going to Broadway, but they had a preview of it at the Kennedy Center. It's based on the Apple TV show, and that was really funny. And at the end, there's confetti, and I was like, oh, darn, I didn't get any confetti. And then when I got home, I found some confetti in my coat. So I decided to do a little doodad page. Again, I needed some encouragement, so I did this little thing. This is, I can't remember the artist, Pinghada Studio. This was something that was in my phone that I saved, and I just thought it was funny. It's a tarot card, but it's the cat with the croc on its head that makes me laugh, so I just wanted to put it in this book, and so I did. So I just use this book for all kinds of random things. It's not all scrapbooking, it's or memory keeping or journaling or whatever. It's whatever inspires me. This one I did a video about. So the big thing on here was that I made my own stencil. So I'll leave a link to this video here if you have not seen how I put this page together. And this is the current page. So that's a little walkthrough of what I've done so far. And every once in a while I will, you know, as I do these videos, I'll do a walkthrough of some things that I have created. Maybe my weirdness will inspire you. I don't know. I'm just in this space now where I'm doing all kinds of non-traditional things. And I don't know. I'm having fun. And that's probably the most important piece, is that I'm actually enjoying creating again. So go ahead and download this piece. I left a description, or I'm sorry, I left the link in the description to the recipe card download with the little recipe stickers. Maybe you're gonna make a recipe scrapbook page. You can use it for that too. It doesn't have to be with the recipe gratitude card. But anyway, let me know in the comments if you've downloaded it and if you made a page, or if you're going to download it. Also, let me know if some other things that you'd like to see. I have some things lined up. I am thinking about starting a membership in April, and that would probably entail one level of YouTube membership and doing like deep dive workshops on specific things. And let's see what else is coming up. Oh, I'm actually going to be doing a prompt book to help you kickstart your memory pages, whether it's journaling, bullet journaling, creative journaling, whatever. You know, we're over the labels, right? Whatever you want to do. So I'm gonna have a prompt book coming out in May. So as we get closer to the launch date, I will probably be showing you previews. I will tell you that this recipe card, Mad Libs, is a sneak peek at something that you might see in this upcoming prompt book. So if this floats your boat, you might get a kick out of the actual book too. So but anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this. Sorry about the glitch earlier. As I said, Mercury's in retrograde. I can't control the energies. Sorry for being woo-woo weirdo, but that's what I'm blaming it on. It's not me. It's the energies in the world. It's not me. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching this, and more to come. More to come. So hope you have a good evening, and I will see you next week. Next video that's coming out is going to be a mini album with, oh, you know what? Let me just show you. I'm going to walk you through this mini album that I made that's got some, okay, we got a little flip up, you got to flip out, you got to flip up, and you got some pull out hidden stuff. So this was a mini album that I made in Cricut and cut it out in Cricut. So the next video is going to be how to make this, and I'll probably share the Cricut file with you so that you can make it for yourself. So look for that, and I'll see you next time. Have a good evening.